Book summary help you understand books, study in schools, and give you insight that make for a great book report. Gain a new perspective by reading about the author and learn how setting, character, and theme help make this book acclaimed work of literature. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer Stone, published 1997. About the author. Born on July 31, 1965, in Gloucestershire, England, John Kathleen Rowling grew up in a rural community in the southwestern part of that country. Her parents and Annie Rowling, an engineer and laboratory technician, respectively. But books such as The Wine in the Willows to read to their two daughters, Rowley's childhood experience shaped her future literary creation. She explored the English countryside, visiting castles and historical sites which inspire her imagination. Although she dislikes science and mathematics courses, Rowley excelled literature class. She found funny, fantastical tales to amuse her sister Diana and friend, especially the Potter sibling, whose name she later appropriated for her wizardry novel. As a teenager, Rowling dreamed of becoming a published author whose books were sold in store. She kept her ambition a secret, though she feared criticism and discouragement from people who might declare that her writing was weak. Rowley gradually became more self-confident and named head girl during her final year at school. Studying language at Exeter University in order to be employable as a bilingual secretary. Rowley graduated with a degree in French and classics, and this cool scholarly knowledge aided her later clever construction of character in the Harry Potter books. She also earned college credit while serving as auxiliary teacher in Paris. Rowley researched on human rights issues for Amnesty International. Then he relocated to Manchester for other office positions. She worked for a company manufactured surveillance equipment. The self-professed disorganized Rowley looted her secretarial duty, often writing instead of working. She wrote fiction for adult readers but did not submit it for publication. She also often visited her ailing mother, who had been diagnosed with the multiple sclerosis a few years earlier. During this train trip, Rowley had epiphany about orphans by a wizard named Harry Potter and began inventing character and setting. After her mother's death in 1990, Rowley decided to teach English as a second language in Porto, Portugal. She outlined 7 books to chronicle Harry adventure at the Hogwarts School of Wizardry and witchcraft at his battle against evil forces. Each book would feature one Harry of Harry's schooling as he aged from 11-year-old to 17. During the research for his identity he matured, Harry would avenge his parents' murder, discover his family heritage, and secure sanctuary where good wizard and witches could thrive. Rowley careful planning enabled her to place subtle clue that would later prove crucial character and plot development. Writing in the morning and teaching the afternoon and at night. Rowley met and married a journalist, George Arentis. Their daughter Jessica was born in August 1993. Several months later, Rowley divorced Arentis and moved with Jessica to Edinburgh, Scotland, where her sister Diana lived. Diana urged Rowley to finish the first Harry Potter novel. The media has emphasized that Rowley was on the public ascendant during this time, and Rowling clarified that she was initially unable to find work that paid a sufficient salary for her to afford child care. Later, she began teaching in local schools and writing for her own entertainment and sense of accomplishment. Rowley did not intend to write a children's book. Agent Christopher later recognized Rowley's talent and began submitting the book to publisher. Bloomsbury Press bought Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1996. The next year, Scholastic Inc. purchased right to publish the book in the United States and changing the title wording to attract American reader. Rowley received a grant from the Scottish Art Council to complete her second book, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. She sold film and merchandising rights to Warner Brothers. Rowley has received praise from reviewers and readers and winning numerous awards including the Small Artist Prize for her first 3 books and topping the bestseller list. She was named Author of the Year at the British Books Award in 2000 and received honorary doctorate from the University of St Andrews in Scotland. Rowley has become a celebrity, appearing as a featured reader at such events as the White House Easter egg roll. The Harry Potter book as a catalyst for culture phenomena. Millions of copies in more than 30 languages have been sold over 100 countries. Readers of all ages apprehensively wait for a new book, then voraciously read them. The dark themes explored in the series have caused some conservative groups to attempt to ban the book from classrooms. Rowley responded to such attacks by stating that she does not believe in witchcraft and thinks children deserve to know the reality of evil. Overview. The first of the Harry Potter book, Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone, introduce reader to Harry Potter on the cusp of his 11th birthday. Born to a well-respected and much-loved witch and wizard, Harry Potter was orphaned as a baby and left to be taken care of by his aunt Petunia and uncle Warner Dursley along with their son Dudley. Harry bear the scars of his parent, pet and orphan statue both literally and figuratively. The evil wizard Voldemort, he who shall not be named, killed Harry Potter's parents but could not vanquish their son. As a result of the battle, Harry Potter wore a curious, lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. A scar that burns when Harry Potter is in danger and when he wakes up from repeating nightmare of infant memory. Nevertheless, being the son of a successful magic couple and defeating an evil wizard as 1-year-old babe is not without benefit. Harry Potter is new in the magic world, a child hero, but he is a child hero unaware. In their wisdom, Professor Dumbledore and Ms. McGonagall leave Harry Potter on the Dursley doorstep. The Dursley are stunned and proud Muggle non-magic people who live laid grey and oppressively or systemize an inconvenient world. The world present day Great Britain. Harry is pursued as a burden and potential embarrassment to Dursley. He is told that his parents were killed in a car accident and never shown any photograph of them and kept ignorant of the magic tour and his own possible place in it. Harry Potter cannot explain how he was able to jump on the top of the school building when being chased by the bullies, nor he saw the glass front of Snake habit and conversed with the boa constrictor during Dudley Dursley's birthday outing to the zoo. And that these are the very things that leave him friendless, isolated, and very unheroic in his own eye. The first year of the Harry Potter life bears a resemblance to what the young King Arthur, a childhood, is depicted in Teach. White the once and the future king, where white longboard Merlin give the word in the portrait in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer Stone. Rowley Professor Dumbledore farm Harry out to distant relative, where white young Arthur is treated as a second-class son compared to the up-and-coming Sir Key. Rowley child hero is abused and maligned by his aunt and uncle and their spoiled, ridiculous son Dudley, where white protagonist is unwittingly trained for kinship by Merlin before he stumbles across the sword and the stone in his heroic. So, Rowley title character is evenly relieved of his unhappy Muggle upbringing by Professor Dumbledore, a letter of acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft witchcraft and wizardry. Noble parentage and his inherited heroism are revealed, and Rowley, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer Stone take off into description of the non-Muggle world. The wonderful landscape of staff of Hogwarts School and the first-year student adventure of Harry Potter and his new friend, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. Together they embark on the quest for the Sorcerer's Stone, a magical stone that they discover is hidden deep within Hogwarts. Setting: in some way, the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry is a traditional English boarding school located in the fairy green countryside well beyond London. The meddlesome caretaker, Mr. Fluff, and his cat, Mr. Norris, carefully monitor the building, and the ground was well kept by beloved keeper of kites and ground. Reviews Hagrid during the long-standing tradition of the sorting ceremony. First year Hogwarts students are separated into 4 houses, each with their own proud history, alumni, and secret tradition. The faculty are respected scholar and authority figure removed from the emotional and interpersonal experience of their student. The curriculum is carefully structured and deliberately traditional, and residents take class by ear with the student from other halls. Points are given and taken away for academic achievement, behavior, and disportation and athletic competition, all is an effort to win the much coveted house cup at the end of year feast. And your Hogwarts is a world is in own a non-Muggle world. Students arrive by train taken from platform 9 and 3/4 at the King Cross station. During the journey they snack on candies, Bertie bought every flower bean including the spinach and liver and crepe, cauldron, cake, licorice, plain, pumpkin, pastry they have bought with the sickle and nut. 17 silver sickle to galleon and 29 nut to a sickle. They amuse themselves by trading cards of famous witches and wizards from the package of chocolate rock. Campus is located inside a moat, and the building is a castle. The house dormitories are in a poor round tower located at the corner of the building and accessed by the secret password that open portrait hole. The sorting ceremony started, and sortie kept the read the new student mind before assigning them to the appropriate house. Not only do the portrait have a frustrating tendency to visit other painting in the castle, thereby foiling the advertisement of many erring students. Mr. Phelps and Mr. Norris are not the only caretaker to avoid. Bevis, the poltergeist, will insists on reporting students out of bed after an hour, and the other ghosts have loyalists to certain houses. Faculty members also have their allegiance as well as curious involvement with the adult magic world. Coursework is difficult and requires much study, whether dry and boring like history of magic with Professor Beans, complex and dangerous like transfiguration with the Professor MS Gonagall, or disappointingly uninformative like Defense Against the Dark Art with the Professor Quirrell. The sport of choice is Quidditch, a challenging game that's sort of like basketball or broomstick with six hoops. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer Stone is set in a comfortingly traditional and delightfully upbeat way, much like the apprentice magic world of the Hogwarts student as compared to the adult magic world for which they are preparing. Unlike the whole of the magic world compared to the Muggle world, except that Hogwarts students walk through a wall in order to reach platform 9 3/4 at a King Cross station, tapping a brick behind the leaky cauldron pub 3 times with your magic wand will open at Dying Alley, the shopping center of the magic world. Alley, the shopping of magic world, to I, Loop, Owl, Emporium, Ollivander, Wandshop, and Gringotts, the Wizard Bank run by Goblin. Diagon Alley is also the only place in London where a prospective student can get everything he or she needs, from the uniform, uh, one pair of protective glues to course book and other equipment. The Ministry of Magic work to ensure the Muggles remain ignorant of the actuality of the magic world, because everyone be wanting magic solution to their problem. We are a best left alone and commonplace system of the Muggle world, a maze and confuse witches and wizards, for example. Etherby started a lot, and they walked through a little town to the station. Harry couldn't blame them. He kept finding perfectly ordinary things like fainting monsters saying loudly, "See that, Harry? Think these muggles dream of, eh?" A layering of experience and perspective, and Rowley takes work to keep the reader both grounded and aware. As such, a reader enjoys setting that has been wonderfully completely imagined, described, and realized by Rowley in Harry Potter and Sorcerer Stone. Themes and character. Like the setting of the novel, Rowley themes and character are both traditional and upbeat, British to the core. The theme of character Harry Potter and Sorcerer Stone contain a delightful blend of classic fantasy and Victorian sentiment, minus the tendency toward what contemporary audience might consider saccharine, high daily, and at their best, both classic British fantasies and Victorian literature enjoy the great theme of the love and death, of good and evil. This is the true of Rowling Harry Potter and the Sorcerer Stone, wherein the title character or noble hero having been orphaned and overshadowed by a cruel and ignorant world continue a battle issue of class and conscience in even after he is delivered to a better, more accepting and acceptable place. And the end. And in Harry Potter accept and promote what Professor Dumbledore, headmaster of Hogwarts and co-creator of the Sorcerer's Stone, eloquently explained to the well-organized mind, it is but the next great adventure. With this acceptance come additional emotional support. Harry Potter are dead. Aye, but this is more of shift faith than it is irreparable loss. In her characteristic layering style, Rowling points out that not only have Harry parents left the gift of the Harry behind, but they have left Harry with a gift. At the novel end, when Harry asks Professor Dumbledore why Quirrell, the evil wizard Voldemort accomplice, could not touch him, Dumbledore replied, "Your mother died to save you." If there is one thing Voldemort cannot understand, it is love. He did not realize that love is as powerful as your mother, for you leaves its own mark. Not a scars, no visible sign to have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loves us is gone, will give you us some protection forever. It is your very skin. Harry is not only scared literally and figuratively by his orphan status, he is also alternately positively marked by it, and this is the something that he hoped the young adult audience, the intended audience for Rowling Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone, might learn to organize as a team in the real magic of their own life. It is the student of Hogwarts, the fictional contemporaries, and the peers of his intended audience who demonstrate that these great themes, love and death and good and evil, are the part of parcel of every life lived. Whether that student to be quintessential bully as a Draco Malfoy, or the overweight, clumsy, and somewhat untalented but nevertheless good-hearted Neville Long Bottom, and each individual psyche and personality is shaped by how they pursue and respond to the great theme in their own life. In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Rowling character are complex, dimensional, and interesting because they pursue and respond to the signature note of this theme in their own life. Indeed, the bully Draco Malfoy suffer from feeling of inferiority due in part of the success expectation and snobbery of his father, Neville Longbottom, raised by his grandmother An unpopular for the resulting lack of style upbringing his cause carry his own similar yet distinct sense of illegitimacy. Ron Weasley is one of the 7 children, all of whom met with the great success while studying at Hogwarts. He is a head boy, Quidditch captain, house perfect, or wildly popular prankster. Hermione's Granger negotiates with the stress of being a type A achiever from the Muggle family. The adults of the magic world too are not about the struggle to commander their life in word, a facet of prowling fiction that may count for literacy success of the Harry Potter book in the real adult world. Professor Snape struggled with the guilt and frustration of not being able to repay his arch-rival Harry Potter for saving his life. Rubius Hagrid has been shamed by being expelled from Hogwarts by having had his vein broken in half of Forbidden's magic, thereby leaving him as obvious misfit. The Muggle world is marginalized within the non-Muggle world. Even with his wise Professor Dumbledore, a near perfect man and wizard, must come to terms with the foibles and disappointment that color the human experience. When asked what he sees in the mirror of Erist, bewitched mirror, yet not only the bare inscription Erist stray iru oe kepu oyu, I shall not your face but your heart desire, but also reveal Harry family too. Him and his son Ron Weasley himself is a head boy holding the Quidditch cuff. Professor Dumbledore replied, I see myself holding a pair of thick woolen socks. One can never have enough socks. Another Christmas has come and gone, and I didn't get a single pair. People will insist on giving me book. However, a tongue checked maybe. Professor Dumbledore remarked, nevertheless spoke a greater truth and recognized our great ability to want we do not have. We just might stumble across appreciation for what we have been given. It is ultimately statement of what our young protagonist has learned from his loss of his parent, and one that vindicated both Rowley character and the audience in young or old.